Welcome back, my rogues. Today's question is, what non-horror movie is actually really scary? Hope you enjoy, and check me out on Instagram. Coraline. It's technically a kid's movie, but it's freaky as hell. As a child, I was terrified of the Pinocchio donkey scene. Who Framed Roger Rabbit scared the hell out of me, especially with the Judge Zoom scene at the end when it's revealed he is a toon. James and the Giant Peach. I saw Return to Oz when I was a kid during a sleepover. I didn't get any sleep that night. Saw it again a few years ago as a 30 years old. Still scary. Mommy Dearest. It's about a narcissistic actress who adopts a child, shows love initially, then turns into a horrible, abusive monster when the child starts thinking for herself. If you've been in an abusive relationship, this movie hits harder than any horror flick. In a weird way, I find The Truman Show scary. The Spiderwick Chronicles scared the shit out of me when I was young. It's a PG kids movie, but I swear in some of the scenes the tension and jump scares felt like they were for horror movie. Nightcrawler isn't scary in the traditional sense, but it's extremely unsettling. I found E.T. extra terrifying. HBO's Chernobyl was hands down the scariest TV series I've ever watched. Radiation is terrifying. Does Watership Down count? The 1978 version. It's not categorized as a horror but as a kid's animation adventure, yet it has blood and gore in it. Scared the shit out of me as a kid. Couldn't sleep for days. I still can't watch it. Requiem for a Dream is scary as hell. If you really want your kids to understand why drugs are bad, just show them this movie well. Don't show this movie to kids. Maybe on their teen years. A lot of frightening scenes, graphic moments and a sad ending. AI Artificial Intelligence. I watched that pretty young and the whole thing was fairly traumatizing. Also, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Fucking scorpions, man. 7-year-old me would say Mars Attacks. Hell, you'll still stand by it. Requiem for a Dream. All Dogs Go to Heaven saw the first 2030 minutes in the theater when I was about 5. 30-ish years later still haven't watched it, and still can picture the scene that caused me to lose it. Whiplash. Ever see J.K. Simmons and Big Boy? HES pretty intense. He might be really scary if he weren't so funny. Yeah, no one laughs during Whiplash. A scene from The Elephant Man by David Lynch. When the disfigured man is laying in bed and the carnival guy breaks in through the window and charges people to see his face haunts me. The way they dance around him laughing when he's dealing with so much mental anguish sticks with me. I watched Contagion the other day and that definitely kept me awake. Toy Story 3. It gets so dark eventually and the bear just scares me, and Coraline. It should be labeled animation horror. I love both. Also for how dark they are being for kids. The movie 9. The way that machine just sucked a soul through the doll's eyes and mouth were burned into me. Schindler's List. Can't believe such horror actually took place. Not a movie but The Handmaid's Tale fucking scares me to death. No Country for Old Men. The Brave Little Toaster. Terrifying clown monster traumatized me as a child. Threads. Nobody's mentioned it yet. It will give you nightmares. It is relentlessly bleak. You've seen nothing like it. I promise. It's the lead up to and long aftermath of a nuclear war presented as a factual documentary. It is not a date movie. Edit. It's on Shudder, 7-day free trial and Amazon Prime. Apparently, for anyone who wants to see for themselves. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Francis Coppola's The Conversation, 1974, with Gene Hackman, John Cazale, Frederick Forrest, Cindy Williams, Terry Garr, and Harrison Ford. All of the paranoia we have about the devices we carry in our pockets began to take root in the technology featured in this tense thriller. There's a lot of cool filmmaking going on here, and one of the most upsetting seconds-long toilet scenes ever filmed. The monsters in this movie are us, and the tools we have created. Jumanji. Watched it for the first time as an adult and I was seriously uncomfortable for long parts. But the scene in Peter Jackson's King Kong when they encounter the villagers gave me nightmares as a kid. The Witches. The Wizard of Oz, 1939. Seeing the Green Witch and her flying monkeys scared the shit out of me as a child. Heathers bothers me because when it came out, it was really far-fetched parody. Now, it's fucking uncomfortable because of how realistic it seems. I went to school in a high-achieving town. with a serious teen suicide problem, and a couple of credible bomb threats to the schools. It upset me that everything portrayed in the film was plausible in regards to the experience I had there. Undercooked crunchy risotto. Titanic. It's super scary to die in the middle of the ocean. Edit. Holy shit, 131 upvotes. This has been my comment with the highest number of upvotes. Thank you all. Gravity scared the bejesus out of me. The idea of being untethered in space and just floating away with no way to do anything? Fuck that. Not really a movie, but I have a pathological fear of the Teletubbies. The Brave Little Toaster. Seriously, if you had fond memories of it as a child but haven't seen it in a long time, go back and rewatch it. That shit is crazy and messed up. Children of Men. And it's only gotten more frightening in light of recent events. A mini-series allowed. Chernobyl, because I remember thinking this feels like a doomsday sci-fi flick, but even scarier because the science is real. Dear Zachary. The Polar Express. Those creepy fucking elves that look like they just escaped prison. I don't think Pan's Labyrinth is technically a horror movie. The Dark Crystal. No questions. Doctor Who. The double episode with the angels. I mean, it's hell, so every day we prepare and feed him his own recipes, but we replace any proteins with his genitals that are harvested slowly and then grow back in his sleep. I don't really know any of his recipes, so please don't downvote if HES already using his genitals as an ingredient. Melancholia. Still Alice.
Hope you liked this video. Stay frosty, my rebels.